Hey guys, it's Vicky, and today I'm here to share with you my reading plans for February. And as we all know, February is the shortest month of the year, but I always manage to jam-pack my February TBRs every year. I don't know why I do this, but I have such an ambitious TBR this month. But I'm really excited about all of the books that I am hopefully going to get to. So let's just go ahead and dive in. So first of all, this month I'm going to be taking part in a readathon, a month-long readathon that's going to be going on throughout the whole month of February, and that is Blackathon, and it is hosted by Jessie over at Bow Ties and Books. And like I said, this is a month-long readathon that focuses on reading books by Black authors, and Jessie really went all out with this readathon. There are going to be video challenges, photo challenges, there's obviously reading challenges, and there's also a theme to this readathon this year, and there are also going to be teams. So I'm going to link Jessie's video down below because it explains everything and has all the prompts and everything depending on what team you want to be on. But there is going to be team sci-fi fantasy, team contemporary, and literature, nonfiction, and then also team thriller and horror, which is the team that I decided I'm going to join. And each one has a group read and also a couple of prompts. So yeah. And the theme, I don't know if I mentioned, the theme for the entire readathon is travel. So all of the prompts and things have to do with traveling. So I'm really excited about this one. And so for that readathon, I have 4 books that I'm going to be reading that tie into the prompts for the thriller horror team. Okay, so the first prompt for Team Thriller Horror is a Black character moves to a new town with an old secret. And for this one, I'm going to be reading The Patriarch by Brandon Massey. This is a novella, and it's about a guy who, growing up, he kind of has always thought that he's been a little bit different. He almost has a sort of superhero quality to him. He never gets sick. He's always been really athletic and fast and strong, and he doesn't really know a whole lot though about his ancestry. So he decides when he gets engaged to dig a little more into his family history, and he travels from Atlanta to Mississippi and starts to find out some of the secrets behind his family and these strange sort of abilities that he has. So yeah, it's gonna have I think some supernatural bits and sort of a mystery because the secret is kind of sinister, I believe. I don't know, so I'm kind of excited to check it out. I've been wanting to read Brandon Massey anyway, so I'm excited to read this one. The second prompt is a supernatural or paranormal horror, and for that I think I'm still not entirely sure about what I'm going to read for this one, but I'm thinking I'm going to read The Between by Tananarive Due. And this one is about a guy who, when he was a little boy, his grandmother saved him from drowning, and in the process she died. And so now it's years later, and he is married to a woman who's a judge, I believe, and she is being harassed and stalked by a person that she helped put in prison. And he, at the same time, is also having these really horrible dreams where he is being pursued by some sort of evil force or whatever. And so it's kind of about him being physically stalked by this person that's harassing his wife and his family, and then also in between, when he's sleeping, also being harassed by this weird creature or whatever in his dreams. And so it's kind of, the way I'm kind of making it travel, which I know might be a little far-fetched, is kind of that traveling between wakefulness and sleep and vice versa. I don't know, I'm kind of trying to make that work. But the story sounds really good, really creepy. And I read Tananarive Due's book, The Good House, and really liked it and have been wanting to read some more of her stuff, so I'm excited for it. Okay, the third prompt is to read a book taking place on vacation, sabbatical, or a decadent setting. So for that, I'm going to be reading 40 Acres by Dwayne Alexander Smith. And this is about a guy who is a successful attorney living in Queens, and he kind of befriends this group of very, very successful Black men. and they invite him. They kind of take a liking to him, and they think he has a lot of potential, and they invite him on this weekend getaway just to kind of like have a guy's weekend and to hang out, like no cell phones, no wives, just kind of like hanging out and all that. And then when he gets there, they reveal to him that they are part of this secret society that is working to bring slavery back to America, except the catch is, this time around, the slaves will be the white people. And he's kind of like caught in this weird place, because to join the secret society would mean basically a life of comfort and success and never having to worry about anything. And to turn them down would probably mean his death. So it seems like it's going to be really intense. It's going to have a lot of, obviously, like a lot of social commentary and things like that. And I do enjoy stories that sort of take concepts or take history or whatever and flip them on their head, and that's exactly what this is going to do. So I'm excited to check it out. Okay, and then the last one for the book I'll be reading for Blackathon is the group book, which is Wife of the Gods by Quay Carté. I think I'm saying that right, sorry. This is a thriller detective story about a detective named Darko Dawson, which I think is such a cool name. Number one. And it takes place in Ghana, and he is a detective who is trying to find a murderer who killed a young girl. And it takes him back, I think it takes him back to his hometown, where there's like a lot of secrets, a lot of baggage and things from his past and everything, and he's trying to hunt down this killer. And then it also ties into some sort of like ancient custom or ancient folklore that is known around the area that is somehow linked to this murder. I don't know, it sounds kind of cool. I love a good detective story, so I'm excited to check it out. Okay, so besides the books I'm planning to read for Blackathon, I also have 4 more books that I want to read in February. The first one is one that I'm currently reading with Leia. Leia and I are reading the 4th book in the Warriors series. This one's called Rising Storm. So this is just a continuation of the series about Fireheart, our cat that lives with the other feral cats in his little area, and all the dramas of their different clans and all the craziness. So we're really enjoying this. I don't know if I'll finish this month because we read it at a pretty slow pace, but yeah, working on this one. And then the next one that I'm definitely going to be reading is the pick for the Random Reads book club that is ran by Bobby and I over on Goodreads. And for February, we decided we're gonna read Brother by Anya Allborn. And this one I have had on my TBR for a really long time, and I'm sort of nervous about it though, because it basically deals with a guy who is part of a family where the family kills people. They kidnap women, mutilate them, do horrible things, kind of like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre sort of deal. And he is part of this family, but he's very reluctant. He doesn't want to do these things, but he kind of feels that family pressure. And then he meets a girl, I believe, that really starts to basically like make him think, I need to change my ways, I need to get out of this, but how, kind of thing. So yeah, I've heard that this is really good. Like I said, it's giving me Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes, but also I'm nervous because I've heard there's a lot of body horror in here, obviously, because the family basically like tortures people and stuff, and so sometimes that doesn't work so well with me. But I guess we'll see. I'm excited to check it out. If you are interested in reading this with us, the link for the Goodreads group, Random Reads, is down below. I hope you guys will join us. The next book that I want to read in February is for Roxane Gay's book club. This is the February pick, and I'm really excited about this one. It's called Detransition Baby by Tori Peters, and this is about 3 women. We have Reese, I'm trying to remember their names. Reese and Amy are in a relationship. They are both trans women, but Amy decides to detransition and begin to live life as a man and starts to go by Amos. I believe it's pronounced Amos, because he believes that it will just be easier to live as a man. And so I believe they break up. And then Amos starts to have a relationship with, I can't remember the other character's name, Katrina. And then Katrina gets pregnant. And one of the things that Reese and Amos wanted so badly when they were together was a family, children. And so Amos is, you know, Katrina gets pregnant and Amos starts to think maybe he could win Reese back and the three of them could somehow kind of raise this baby together. And so to me, it's just such an interesting concept because it's not really like a love triangle. It's about co-parenting, which to me is interesting. And also, from what I understand, there hasn't been a whole lot of fiction out there dealing with detransition. So I'm really interested in this. Then we have, for the buzzword reading challenge, the February buzzword is a color. So for that, I'm gonna read a book that has been on my TBR for years. I've had this physical book on my shelf for, I think, like 3 years. That is White Oleander by Janet Fitch. And this is about a young woman who was raised by a single mother, and her mother ends up in prison, I believe, for committing murder. And so she is just trying to get through life with having her mother in prison, and they obviously have a very strained relationship. So I've heard that this book is absolutely beautiful in terms of the writing, but it is also very hard-hitting, which I'm kind of in the mood for. I've been kind of in the mood for the last couple of months. I don't know why. So yeah, that kind of sounds great to me. Beautiful writing, hard-hitting, heavy topics. And lastly, I'm going to be continuing my read of the Chronicles of Narnia. I had initially wanted to read the books in the order in which the box set was sent to me, or, you know, the way that the publishers put it in order, which is they put it in order chronologically. But then I realized that I wanted to read it in publication order, starting with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I just feel like that's the way I wanted to start this series, was with that book, and read the books in the way that they were originally published, the way that children 4 years read them in terms of publication order. So I've switched up the order of the books so that they're in publication order now. And so this month in February, I'm going to be reading Prince Caspian. And this one deals with the same 4 children, Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy, from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. This time it has been a few years. Has it been a few years? Or are they still pretty young? I'm not sure. But basically they return to Narnia. And that's all I know. That's all I know about it. So yeah, I'm excited to keep going through the series and see what happens. And yeah, this should be a fun one. Okay guys, so that is my very ambitious TBR for February. I have quite a full plate this month, but I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited to take part in Blackathon and to read these books. I think it's going to be a great reading month, as short as it may be. But yeah, let me know down below what you're planning to read for February, because I would love to hear what everybody's going to be reading. And yeah, that's all I have for today, guys. I hope you're having a great week, and I hope February treats you well, and I'll talk with you soon. Thank you so much for watching.